7 million. In capital funds is 2 million. 191,000 of which is designated for Robinson Park, and 1.5 million in the POA operating fund for the balance sheet. Now, on the income statement, year to date, the sewer division has excess revenues of 692,000, a negative cash flow of 32,000 after debt service and capital expenditures, and that's compared to a positive 205,000 for the same period last year. Combined, POA and amenities had excess revenues of 1.6 million and a negative cash flow of 187,000, compared to negative cash flow of 250 the same period in 17. Given our capital budgets this year, we are expecting negative cash flow for both sewer and POA amenities funds, but we have the cash reserves to cover that. POA and amenities excess revenues were in excess of 1.6 million, which is 201,000 less than the same period last August year to date. This is a result of increased labor and benefits of 105,000 in food and beverage, and increased labor and materials of 198,900 in golf division, and that's the same period 2017. For golf, year-to-date income before depreciation was 218,000 compared to 431,000 in 17. While golf revenues are down due to the weather, we are open. When we're open, average rounds per course are 104 versus 102 in 17. Preferred timeshare rounds have seen the most decline since 2017, with 2,200 and 2,000 respectively. Timeshare occupancy rates are also down from 17, and we have seen the impact in both golf and F&B. Our courses are open. When our courses are open, we're averaging 104 rounds compared to 100 in 2017. Golf total subsidy to capital expenditure debt service was 408,000. Our F&B subsidies increased 42,000 in August compared to 39,000 in 17 for the same period last year. Subsidies were up 36,000 over the same period in 17. The F&B labor and benefits were 989,000 versus 893,000 last year. That's an increase of 105 over the same period last year. So, as you can see, our labor is our biggest issue, and it's been our issue. We're still trying to attack it. It seems to be a little ahead of us right now, but I do feel confident that we're going to do a good job on it over time. It's a big thing to tackle, and we're doing the best we can right now with what we've got. Revenues now for Stonehenge and Legends in August, just the restaurants, were down by $9,000. But our labor was up by 98 hours. So you can see that it's the labor that's driving everything that's going on right now in the restaurant. Right now we have 1,845 lots in our inventory. So, with that said, any questions on the finances? Yes.
Would it be possible when the financial reports are given that you include benchmark industry data? For instance, the 4% loss of revenue because of the timeshares.
Mm-hmm.
What's the industry benchmarking saying in comparison? So we can see how we are doing compared to what they're seeing across the industry.
For our costs, or broken out by the
Revenue or anything. I came from a tech company. You benchmarked against the industry. It's a big, helpful tool for everybody.
Well,
I think addition of benchmarking would be very helpful here.
we have some in the, well, we did in the other report. I'm looking on this one. The one that I intended to show you today has some on there, and you will see them negative. But we are actually a little better than industry standard on cost of goods sold. Our labor, I think we're, if I'm correct, we're a little higher on labor.
Actually, overall labor, we compare to like communities in Florida, and we're what's called a CIRA, which is a Common Interest Realty Association. It's when you buy property in a community, you're automatically a member of the club and what have you. And there's a lot of these communities down in Florida, Southwest Florida in particular, Naples, Fort Myers, Sarasota, and what have you. And so that's the benchmark that we use for the most part. Now, a lot of those communities don't have timeshare units, so the timeshare situation is a little bit different. We'd have to reach out to the timeshare people for that. But in all cases, we compare favorably to like communities in Florida. Now, the one caveat is that a lot of that is because we're much larger. Most of those communities have about 1,000 units, whereas we have over 5,000 units. So because of the economies of scale, we're able to do better than they do. But like, for example, food and beverage, typically those communities, their subsidy is 44% in 2017, and this is based on audits done by RSM, who is our auditor as well, because they do a lot of clubs in Florida. Most communities, their food and beverage operation was subsidized by 44%. And I think right now we're in the, let's see here, I think we're in the 31% range, if I'm not mistaken. Last year, I think it was in the 35% range. Yeah, like right now, get to that, make sure I get the right number for you. Oh.
And we are doing well. I do have those numbers at the office, and I just didn't put them in the report, in my written report, and I had down the schedule. But I do have them, and we can put in more if you want to see more. We do have some in there now for labor and cost of goods sold is what we have.
Now, it may be, part of my interest is because timeshares do help support our amenities in a great way. Perhaps Barbara Storer, because she's reporting on that part of it, maybe she has access to the industry benchmarking for her industry that would help that.
Just, do you want to know on like timeshare overall of that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and our subsidy through August for food and beverage, 31% of revenues, and Southwest Florida, CIRA is 44% for 2017. So we do a lot of benchmarking. We're actually members of Club Benchmarking, so we get a lot of data from them. We supply that to the FAC as well as the board. We actually have a key performance indicators schedule that we provide to both of those groups. So we're constantly looking at that for a variety of things. It's just not something we typically communicate to the membership, quite honestly.
So my point is, perhaps you should share more of that, because perhaps if they saw that, they would understand a little bit more about how well our community is doing.
Yep.
Just a thought.
Yep.
No,
We can
I
definitely
can
do
put
that.
in. I made a note of it. Thank you. Any other questions? Yeah?
Okay, thank you, Denise. Next, unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have a few things under new business. Purchase requisition, Stonehenge Clubhouse interior renovation, 50% construction drawings.
Can I explain it? Yeah, I'll explain that. We've been actually working with our architects for a couple of years now, looking at improvements to Stonehenge Clubhouse. And we've kind of been doing some things in phases. And really, first phase was adding that back porch that we did a couple years ago. When we worked with them probably over 2 years ago, they actually did some conceptual plans for the interior renovations that would turn the interior into something that's more similar to Dorchester Clubhouse, where as you walk in, you have a hallway that goes all the way back to the back of the facility where you can see the golf course and what have you. Then you have all your restrooms and pro shop on the left, your grill and all your food and beverage operation on the right. So we've done those conceptual plans. They gave us some rough estimates, and those were the numbers that we've been using for the 5-year plan budgeting purposes. But to really get some good detailed analysis and numbers, you really need to take it a step further and start doing some construction drawings. So, and typically architects can give you 50% construction drawings. They're not the full-blown construction drawings, but they're enough to where they can give an architect, a contractor, plans that they can then give you some pretty good estimates of what it'll cost. These aren't hard bids, but they're quotes that give you a better estimate of what